It says we're live. Welcome
Welcome.
to Casual as Fuck number 7 featuring Craig Bragg. Craig, how are you?
I am well, thank you, Irving. How are you?
Oh, living the fucking dream.
These eyes can see so much now without them glasses. I've still got the black circles, though. I gotta do something about that. Have you heard of this shit called Testofen?
Testafin.
Yeah,
No.
or maybe testosterone. It's basically a testosterone derivative, and it's supposed to help older people who feel like they've lost a lot of energy and lost the ability to lose weight. But they make these supplements with this stuff that, it isn't testosterone because testosterone, too much of it in your system can be very, very dangerous. But it's a derivative of testosterone based on, natural plant and food products. Anyway, there's a channel I watch called Redacted, and they're constantly shilling this stuff that has
Hmm.
testofen in it. I'm like, I gotta look into that because I'm older now, as you know, and I find that my energy is just garbage right now. Hey, Cryptic. Hey, Costin. Good to see you.
Gentlemen, welcome. And did we know that Minions have a Rumble channel? Yes,
Yes,
actually.
I did know that. I've
Yeah,
been
but they
watching.
don't they don't
I've been watching Minions of the Zoo lately. Minions of the Zoo lately.
yeah, yeah, they're good. Yeah, no, but they don't live stream on Rumble because if you don't have enough like minimum viewership there,
Mm-hmm.
you got to pay.
Yeah, which is kind of
So they
crazy.
just repost their shows from YouTube
That's what
onto
we should
Rumble.
do. I don't know why we don't do that. I have a Rumble channel. You have a Rumble channel, I'm sure. Why don't we take the live streams and just put them all up on there?
Yeah, I was actually thinking to steal Tim Pool's model and start like taking cuts of these shows and
Yeah,
putting them up as 5 to 15 minute videos, right?
why not? We'd get some really good discussions on these
Yeah,
streams. It's not a bad idea.
yeah,
They're trying to
highlight.
get to 100. They're at 37. I'll have to check and make sure I'm subscribed over there on Rumble because I know I'm subscribed to them on the YouTubes. Let me go to Rumble.
But
Rumble.
yeah, so we've done zero preparation
Of
as
course.
usual. I didn't even start the game. That's how casual I play. And we have no idea what to discuss. What are we discussing?
um,
I don't have any banners.
U.S. politics, maybe.
U.S. politics, not Canada.
Well, Canadian politics is so depressing. I'm already subscribed to Minions of the Zoo, so they have 38 followers now, so they've gone up by one anyway. No, I'm just because of the recent shit that's been going on with the Biden White House. They're preparing to like basically kick him to the curb, is my opinion.
Oh,
Oh, you
that's
do you play?
something.
Did you ever play D&D?
Yeah, a little
We could
bit.
talk about
Why?
the OGL that WotC just released. Everybody's losing their shit over it. We could talk about that.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what the heck that they're talking about. Like, I haven't been following it enough.
I could go through a quick synopsis
Yeah, yeah.
if you're
Give us the
interested,
rundown.
if the chat is interested. So if you haven't been following the news about D&D and Wizards of the Coast and the OGL, so originally the OGL was brought out back in, I don't know, whenever third edition D&D came out, and the idea was that it was supposed to be a copy left system as opposed to copyright, meaning you could take the rule set and the the basic mechanics of Dungeons and Dragons and use them in your own materials for publication. The idea being that because game rules are not cannot be trademarked or copyrighted, game systems you can't, like for instance poker. Nobody can own the patent to poker or whatever. You can't patent a game rule system. So
Okay.
so because they couldn't do, they're like, this is great because we get other people producing supplemental material for our game, and then we'll always have a steady stream of people buying our core books and any campaign settings, things like that that we put out. But people can make their own campaign settings and further bring more customers into our into our market. So that was the idea behind the OGL, the Open Game License, and everybody was on board with it. Everybody loved it, and it really boosted third edition Dungeons and Dragons. And then fourth edition, they changed it. They changed the rules system because they were realizing, hey, there's lots of people making tons of money off of our game, and it's not us. And maybe we didn't think about this correctly, but in reality, They said we'll change the system for fourth edition, and then nobody liked it. The rule system for fourth edition was garbage. It turned it into like basically like a board game. It wasn't. It was less of a role playing game and more of a board game.
Right.
So so people didn't cotton on to it. A company called Paizo, who have been producing their Dragon magazine and Dungeon magazine, decided, look, if this is how you're going to change the system, we're going to keep the system you did have under third edition and 3.5, and we're going to make our own system called the Pathfinder system that uses the OGL. And then Pathfinder started outstripping sales of Dungeons and Dragons. Well, now Hasbro's looking at the Wizards of the Coast. Hasbro has put in a Microsoft executive to run Wizards of the Coast because it's not there. In her words, it's under monetized, meaning they're not making enough money off of Wizards of the Coast. They can't just rely on core book sales. So they want to basically turn it into microtransactions. And so in part of this, they changed the OGL to say that anybody who produces stuff using our system will have to pay royalties. If you're a big corporation, you'll have to pay royalties to Wizards of the Coast. So it's no longer an open free gaming license. It's now
Right.
like basically a royalty-based system. So people lost their shit on it, and now they've come out and said, "Well, no, this is not what we were really intending, and don't worry, it's not finalized. We're glad we let you people know about what our intentions were before it, hit final presses," and which is all bullshit, right? It got leaked, is what happened, and when it got
Right.
leaked, they had to basically cover their asses. Um, yeah. So yeah, there's lots of people just saying fuck it, I'm not going to play D&D anymore. And the fact of the matter is, there's lots of people now moving on to what they call OSR, which is old school rules, because the rules, like what happened with second edition, is Dungeons and Dragons become this glut of rules, where it's now it's not complicated, but there's just so much junk in it that anytime you want to sit down and play a game with somebody, and they're like, I made this character and I used these feats from this supplement and I used this from this Dragon magazine article and I use this, and a lot of times it's like, well, it kind of makes it not fit our theme, or it's overpowered or whatever, right?
Right.
So there's all this junk. It's like glut in the game system now, so people are like, you know what? I much prefer a simpler role-playing game. So people are playing like old D&D Basic, or coming up with stuff that is reminiscent of D&D Basic and just making it super
Yeah.
simplified to facilitate fast gameplay. There's lots of comments here.
Yeah. Yeah, so Minions were struck again, and they're streaming on their backup channel. I don't know why they were struck.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Do you got more details? I think this was about Biden. Biden. It's an op to make him not run.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to say, you're done, Biden. Leave.
Yeah.
And the idea also is that if they can put that onus on Biden, then they can come back at Trump and say, and neither should Trump run because what happened at Mar-a-Lago. Never mind, it's a completely apples and oranges situation.
We can talk about how awesome our glorious Emperor of Earth, W.R. Costin, is. We
Yeah,
will
you're
at some
you're
point.
you're pretty glorious, Cost, and I didn't know you were an emperor though. But hey, good on you, man.
Oh, and don't worry, Cryptic. You don't have to pay Costin any royalties for this stream.
No. So you've been playing a game, you said recently. Planet Zoo or Space
Yeah,
Zoo?
Planet Zoo. Yeah, did we talk about it last week?
We might have. Yeah, briefly. I think so. How you
Just
liking that?
that I got it. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a great deal on it.
Oh, yeah. Steam has their sales, right? So.
Yeah, yeah. So it was my Christmas gift to myself. Yeah, I have fucking otters.
You have otters now?
Yeah,
Oh, they're so cute. Do they lie in the water on their back and do cute little things with their hands?
a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
they swim a lot. I have like one of those like the enclosure raises up, but
Hmm.
it's glass on the bottom, so it's filled with water at that point, and you can like see them swimming in the glass enclosure. But then you walk up the hill alongside, and it's just a little fence. So you can see them skittering around on the beach and shit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
was I was thinking more about that game format, and I think I talked about they should make one. When you say Planet Zoo, I immediately think it's a space themed thing, right? right? And I'm like, you know what would be really cool if you could have like a future zoo, kind of like Jurassic Park, and maybe they've already done this, but basically, where remember that game Spore, where you could
Yeah.
basically 3D design your own creature and evolve it over time and shit like that?
Yep.
They should make a zoo game where you genetically engineer the animals that are going to be in your zoo, and the more evolutionary points you put in, the more attractive they are to customers to come watch them and see them, right?
But also, the
And
more pain in the ass it is to keep them contained.
right. And
Yeah.
also more pain in the ass it is to feed them because they got very specific dietary restrictions
Mhm.
because you've engineered their evolution. And then, there could be like side story items where it's like, uh, government officials come to you and say, "We really like this behemoth thing you made with the four trunks and the lobster claws, and we want to weaponize it. So we'll give you X number if you can produce 100 units every year." You know, I think that'd be pretty cool. Hey, Stan, Spore
Stan
was cool.
Polish.
Yeah, Spore was cool up until the civilization point. I really liked the evolving the creatures, and I really liked making your little tribes. But then when it started to get to like you have a civilization and you need to advance this, I'm like, I'm kind of lost interest in this.
And then you got to conquer other planets and shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's supposed to take you beginning to end, right?
Yep. Um, where's Stan Ulch from? I mean, I've seen the logo before. I know he's been here before,
Yeah.
but
It's been so long since I've seen Stan around. I don't remember. I think Canada.
is he
I
in
don't know where
Canada?
in Canada. Yeah.
Is he in Canada? London, Ontario. Okay, there we go. We get a
Yeah.
lot of
Okay.
Canadian viewers on this channel here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It
wonder
was
if I should
the
message. I wonder if I should message CMAC and see if she's gonna pop in.
it was the crazy woke Canadians that kept me going for so long.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry, I failed you all.
The woke Canadians.
Like the good, the correct woke, the awake Canadians,
Yeah.
the center of Ontario liberal hell. Yeah, fuck. I mean, it's roughly as bad as Toronto and Ottawa, I guess. London, sure. Oh, but no, I this quiet offends Slanesh. What are we?
Well, it's your stream, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Again, no preparation, zero preparation.
I sent CMAC a link, so if she's around, she'll probably pop in, regale us with more stories of her trials and tribulations.
Yeah,
She like really unloaded last stream, telling us all about her all of her medical problems, everything else. It made the stream that much more interesting.
for
Stratford,
sure.
Ontario, socialist heart of Perth County. Oh, have you seen Razorfist's latest long form video about
Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln?
yeah, King Abraham.
Yeah, fuck. I was watching. I'm like, holy shit! I didn't know that about this guy.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln was a
He is
cunt.
so well read. It's uncanny how well read this guy is. He's a
Yeah.
smart guy. He knows his shit, and he doesn't do anything by half measure. Now, does he have a bias? Does he have a specific point of view in mind when he's looking at things like that? Yeah. Same goes for when he did this Michael Jackson thing. So he's definitely has an opinion about things.
Mm.
But man, like the references he's pulling, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, I knew Lincoln wasn't, the second coming of Christ or anything. He wasn't that great a guy. But I didn't know how fucking awful he was.
Yeah, that what it was illegal to not include Abraham Lincoln in your prayers at the beginning of whatever. Like,
Yeah, and a guy was arrested for it, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He took over fucking newspapers so they couldn't publish negative shit about him. He deported a guy who voted against something. Deported him to Canada. Like, are you fucking serious here? Yeah, he's fucked up. I've been to London. I was in London a few short months ago playing some airsoft over
that's
at.
right, that's right.
Yeah, that's a great little
Stan stayed
field.
at the Stratford Armory on exercise while in the reserves,
Oh,
so he's
nice.
kind of got you beat.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. I've been waffling on whether or not I'm going to go to this airsoft event in Virginia in March. It's the cowboy one. It's the Wild West one.
Yeah, yeah.
I really want to go, but part of me's like, I'm going to drop like $2,000 to go on this weekend trip to just to like go and pretend to be a cowboy.
You can't take it with you, Craig.
It's true. It is just money after all, right? And it's not like I'm not making more every fucking day. So yeah, maybe I will. I'm trying to convince Melina to come with me, and she's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, Melina, this is like the most low key airsoft event. Like people aren't constantly shooting each other because you only have 6 shots. You have to be like conservative with. You have to really want to kill somebody and be really confident that you're going to get them in order to like engage in combat in this. It's not like people are just unloading on one another. But in any event, she's like, oh, I don't know, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna force you, but I'm not gonna like coerce you or anything. But it'd be really cool to not go alone. That's the thing. I like going.
Yeah.
I have a great time when I'm there, but I have to either meet up with people I've met before, which is cool because I'm like, hey, you're here again, great. Or
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
make new friends, or I gotta solo it, and then I feel like a total loser soloing it. But yeah,
When is it?
March 25th, 26th, I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
You want to come? Dress up as a cowboy?
I can't get on a plane, but maybe I can drive.
That's a long drive, man. It's like 12, 13 hours. So you can't cross the border. You can cross the border in the United States being unvaccinated by car, but you can't get on a plane into the United States if you're unvaccinated. Is that the idea?
It's something like that. Like, because you can't get on the plane. You can't get on the plane in Canada. They still won't let you on the plane.
See, they didn't even ask for my vaccination status when I went to Virginia last time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I just
Because
like,
it's
and I have Nexus, right? So I went through the Nexus line. They didn't say what's your vaccination status or anything like that. So I'm not sure that's in place anymore. I don't think the travel restrictions for the unvaccinated are in place anymore.
or does Nexus know you're vaccinated? At least.
I don't know how they would. It's a completely separate department, right? But it's possible. But I don't remember them ever saying proof of vaccination is required to board this plane. And I was
Right,
flying
right.
on American Airlines, so I was even using a U.S. carrier. And I could see that U.S. I heard that U.S. had restrictions on non-U.S. citizens coming into the country unvaccinated, but I don't think that's the case anymore because when I drove down back in May, they didn't ask if I was vaccinated. They just asked if I had any guns. And when I flew down this past whatever, they didn't ask. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's essentially done at this point.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Because it's not over. It's
No.
never over.
No, and I was talking to my dad today. I'm like, because they put him in quarantine because he tested positive for the coof like a week or so ago.
Ugh.
So he had to stay in his room at his retirement place, and he was kind of, I'm really bored. I'm like, yeah, I get it, Dad, but it's what they want to do. I get it. They want to protect people. It's all elderly people there, so if somebody gets the coof and they've already compromised, it could kill them, kind of thing. Essentially, right, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Um, so he's like, "Oh, I understand. It's just really annoying." And I'm like, "I said they got to stop treating it like it's a pandemic anymore. It's endemic at this point. They have to
Yeah.
start treating it like we're just gonna have to live with it. And everybody just remember, wash your fucking hands and don't cough on people. Sneeze into your elbow, like that's what we were doing long before this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because what is it? Almost 15 to 20% of the common cold is different kinds of coronavirus.
Yeah.
And only a few coronaviruses are actually dangerous,
Well,
namely SARS and MERS. And even this SARS-2, SARS-CoV-2, whatever they want to
yeah,
call it, it's evolved to the same level as all the other coronaviruses, which is a common cold.
yeah. And I mean, like that's the thing. Like, and even at the height, even when they were first saying, "Oh, it's a novel virus," yeah, okay, so it was new. It hadn't been
Yeah.
hadn't been floating around before. But as it evolved or mutated or whatever over the course of months to a year or whatever, we realized, okay, first off, it wasn't that deadly to begin with. It was only deadly to people who were already immunocompromised. Second, I think a lot of the stuff people collapsing in the street from coronavirus and stuff like that. I'm like, I think a lot of that was just propaganda. I think a lot of it was all bullshit.
Very
Um,
possible.
and well, you just look at how they propagandized everything about it. So now you're like, how much can we trust of any of it? Anyway, all hail the glorious Costin, says CMAC. Welcome, CMAC. So you got my message, or maybe you were going to come here anyway. I don't know.
And there's your glory, Costin.
So what's going on in the chat tonight? How's everybody doing? I sent a message to you saying, "Hey, Irving is live streaming right now."
Message? Oh,
Yes,
there's your
I did
response
send you
back.
a message. Unless you like gave me your wrong contact info, but I'm pretty sure I did.
No, they seem in high spirits, which is good.
Yeah.
Good. Because
Oh,
I've just been swallowing too many black pills, man.
you gotta start taking some of them white pills, brother. Did you see Canada Man's most recent tweet?
I haven't. No.
Canada
I,
Man tweeted out earlier today, "The future is freedom."
see, that's a white pill I need. I need more Canada Man in my
And
life.
I recorded a video on my way back from the park today about that tweet and about a discussion I had with somebody at the park who is a gun owner and is actually in the Gunny Girl 2023 calendar this year. She has a coonhound called Radar, and she's a big gun enthusiast. She shoots, she hunts, and the whole bit, right? And she said, "Oh, I'm in the 2023 Gunny Girl calendar from the CCFR." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. What month are you?" She's like, "I'm March." I'm like, "All right, well, I'm gonna buy it just because one, I want to support the CCFR, and two, now I know somebody in it, so I should have one." Um, and and anyway, we started talking about C21 and the current state of politics in Canada and the whole bit, right? And so I started recording a video about it on my way home about C21 and everything else. And then I started thinking about that tweet, "The future is freedom," and I'm like, yeah, ultimately, when it comes right down to it, it's going to get to a point where they push so hard that people are just going to say, "Fuck you, we demand our freedom," and they're just going to push back even harder, and then it'll reach critical mass, is what I'm saying, right? And you'll have people in the cities who are happy eating cricket burgers and living in pods and being told what to do and being constantly safe and secure, but being told to be afraid the entire time. And then you have people who are self-reliant, growing their own food, taking care of their own security, uh, providing for themselves in terms of water and everything else, and telling the government to go fuck themselves. And never the twain shall meet. Stan said something. "Hey, Jesus. Jesus. Jesus Gonzalez doing terrible. World is effed." No, the world
Yeah.
is the world is well, the world's constantly in a state of being effed. Some more than others, sometimes more than others, but I think we'll be all right.
I don't know. I watch too much dystopian crap.
I mean, I appreciate that kind of fiction, that kind of, but I don't know. At the heart, I guess I'm an optimist. I don't know. Stan said something. Trudeau is implementing the UN small arms embargo, and the guy in Nova Scotia was used as a means to take guns, like all atrocities are. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maple Gear Solid,
Maple Gear Solid, yeah.
the Bork identity. Yeah, like we had our own Anders Breivik basically, but he just wasn't very effective because
Yeah.
he was is the area he attacked was not very well populated.
Yeah. And I was saying to this girl I was talking to today, the gunny girl, that we need to like push further on gun culture here in Canada. Like it shouldn't simply be a matter of conservatives and people who own guns saying please don't take our guns away and raising a holler when they move to. It should be moving to, no, we should have the ability to defend ourselves in this country using firearms or any means necessary. But as is right now, you can't even have a baseball bat in your car for self-defense, right?
Wait, is
Uh,
that real?
that's true. You cannot carry any implement for the purposes of self-defense because you are then considered to be carrying an item with the intent to use it to commit assault.
You know, I have a baseball bat in the back seat of my car at all times.
Do
I
you
live in
have?
Rexdale.
Yeah, but do you have a glove and a ball in there too?
Yes.
Okay. So if a cop sees a baseball bat in the back of your car and he sees a glove and a ball, you say, "Oh yeah, I fucking play, I play pickup ball games with my buddies." Why do you have the baseball bat? Don't say, "Well, I live in the Danforth." All right, now you got intent to commit assault. So
So, is this Danforth from years ago? What's his name? Was his name? I want to say Faisal something. The Danforth shooting from.
yeah, it could have been.
There's still a lot of crap about that just goes not even unanswered. It goes unquestioned,
Yeah.
right? Like if you ever saw the video, that guy draws while moving, steps into a push pull, fires. I think it's 11 rounds on the go, hitting 9 targets, including 2 kills by headshot. Oh, he was just sick. It was a mental health issue. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's a pretty good shooter.
Yeah, Stan says this. I can shoot better than most cops. Stan, do you think on the go you could draw, step into firing position, keep moving, fire 11 rounds, and hit 9 targets, including 2 kills by headshot?
I guess, if you practice enough, yeah, maybe. Now, he wasn't a licensed gun owner either, was he?
No,
So it's not like he had a place where he could go and target shoot.
no.
So, yeah. Obviously he had training, yeah.
Yeah.
So one might even say he was a so could it have been a false flag operation? Is that the implication here? That it was a false flag operation to further the agenda of gun control in Canada and Toronto and everywhere else?
Very possible.
Yeah. Which begs the question then, Nova Scotia shooter. All the details about him having a car that looks like an RCPA car, that he had a uniform. Is it possible that he was also an operative, specifically for the purpose of frightening people about guns and furthering an agenda of gun control?
See, okay, so I think that might have been like a dude on the brink
Hmm.
who was just sort of tipped over by, say, RCMP or CSIS.
Hmm.
Not like a regular guy or an agent for the government, but they just like manipulated him into doing something. Like he was
That's what I
already
mean. Yeah,
borderline. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like what's it called?
What was
Mel
that?
Mel Gibson in Conspiracy Theory, where he's been triggered. He's been MK Ultra'd
Right.
and triggered into doing something.
See, but that's okay. So funny thing I heard about MK Ultra, like that whole thing about like the Manchurian Candidate idea where
Mm.
you say the weird key phrase like
Yeah,
American Ultra.
he's a sleeper agent, and then he comes awake when put
That
in a
doesn't
situation.
work.
No, but
Yeah. But if
but
you find a kid who's already fucked up,
yeah,
you can fuck them up further, and you
right,
can't really direct them. You can just sort of unleash them.
right.
So yeah,
Unabomber. Unabomber was experimented on by MK
that's
Ultra,
right. Yeah.
and he went fucking nuts because of it. So
Oh, this is interesting. The very day of the Parliament shooting, Harper was going to pass a law for more lax gun laws.
well, that's kind of convenient.
Yeah, because that was Nathan Cirillo, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Uh, the
and
Harper
that
was. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that to this day bugs the shit out of me. You have a military man standing honor guard at like I can't remember what it is. That was Parliament. Is it a cenotaph or something?
Yeah,
And he's not allowed to have live rounds in his rifle. The
yeah, that's
rifle
crazy.
is a fucking ornament.
Yeah,
It so fucking stupid.
yeah.
So fucking stupid.
Um, I was gonna say something. I don't
Sorry.
remember. Oh,
Harper.
Harper was the one who implemented the uh, your PAL is your authorization to transport. PAL equals ATT. Because prior to that, you needed an authorization to transport. So you would get your PAL, right? You would get a registration for your firearms license, and then you also would get, you would have to apply for an authorization to transport, or it would be connected with your membership to your gun club, right? But if you needed to take it anywhere other than your gun club or a gunsmith for like repair or whatever, you need to get an ATT. Harper implemented the change to the rules that essentially said anywhere you could normally take this gun, you can take this gun as part of your ATT. So as part of your PAL, your
Yeah.
ATT is your PAL. Unless you're taking it somewhere where you wouldn't be allowed to have that gun for legitimate purposes, you don't need an ATT. You don't need a separate ATT. So the only time you would need an ATT is if you're transporting it over the border, you're taking it somewhere for purposes of like a gun show or something like that, um, some competition or something like that. But you're driving it to a friend's house because he wants to look at it because he's thinking of buying it for you or buying it from you. And in that case, it would only be a handgun in that case, right? You would need an ATT to do that.
Yeah.
But in which case, if you're going to do that, you'd have the guy who's going to buy it come to you because then you don't have to worry about the ATT. But then he needs an ATT to take it back to his own place, which, you know, but anyway.
Yeah, just like an extra hoop for nothing.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
you're allowed
yeah.
to own the gun, but you can't take it anywhere.
No, the idea is, I guess, that, you know, if they have all this paperwork on gun owners in Canada, they can then see patterns on where people are taking their guns and
Hmm.
where they should maybe focus their efforts and stuff like that, you know.
But
And
focus their efforts on
they
the
also want an opportunity to find, you know, criminals where no criminal intent was there, right?
yeah, of course. But no, yeah, focus their efforts on the most law-abiding demographic in the country, possibly the world. Like, great, genius.
Stan Ulch is correcting me. ATT is not a PAL, but they were combined. Yeah, that's what I mean. The PAL
Yeah,
is combined to function as your ATT to take your gun anywhere you would normally take your gun, as opposed to prior to that where you needed the ATT just about to take it anywhere other than your gun range. Yeah, the ATT is stupid. They want to bring it back though. They want us to have an ATT for basically anything. Anytime we want to move that gun from the safe to, you know, our dining room table, you got to get an ATT. You can go to any street in Toronto and buy an illegal, which is what Trudeau's helped. Yeah, absolutely. And what I was talking about was C21. Delta Mills in the house. What I was talking about with C21 with this gunny girl is that how it affects me because I still have guns, but I'm more into airsoft right now. I like the sport. So um, what I was saying is like the stupid thing is right now you've got people who the reason they want to make airsoft guns essentially ban them is because the concern is a criminal with intent to do, you know, to rob or something will use an airsoft gun to rob a place, and then the cops not thinking not knowing it's an airsoft gun will shoot him, and then someone has died who was technically unarmed. So in order to combat that, ban all airsoft replicas. Um, what they don't really count on the fact is okay. So if you can no longer buy an airsoft gun in the store, you're a guy who wants to knock over an SO station, and normally your plan is I'm going to go to, you know, Cabela's and buy an airsoft clock, paint it black because normally the stuff at Cabela's is clear plastic. Paint it black and then go and rob this gas station. Oh wait, Cabela's isn't selling them anymore. Ah fuck, I guess I'll go down to Vito, down on, you know,
Hmm.
Rossesvale and buy one of his stolen guns,
He had
and
to
I'll
be
just use
Italian.
that. Yeah, yeah, Vito and Rossesville. Anyway, um, I didn't want to be racist. Italians are white. You can be racist against whites. It's not racist. Anyway, so yeah, so now he gets a real gun because he doesn't have an alternative in the terms of a non-lethal gun, and now we've got a real gun in the mix where that puts more people at more risk. So, what makes more sense? Like, if somebody robs a gas station with a airsoft gun and he gets shot by the cops, I'd say problem solved. How much do you
So,
want for the airsoft gun at that auction now?
have you seen the video?
No. What
These
video?
two hooded teenagers go into the convenience store.
Mm.
They're pointing the gun at the cashier. One of them hops the counter. Some big fucking black dude busts through the door and just fires shots at them, okay? I don't know if he's a cop or armed security, but the kids hit the deck. He's yelling, "Drop it, drop it." They let it go. "It's fake, it's fake." He goes, "Oh well, mod's real." And they're both shot and bleeding on the floor.
My God!
It's
Did
like,
you
yeah,
see?
no.
Did you
Oh
see the video?
well.
Did you see the video of the restaurant getting held up in Texas?
Held up?
Yeah, it was getting held up by a guy walks into a restaurant with a gun, starts pointing at people, telling them to give him their wallet and the whole bit, right? A guy sitting in one of the booth, he has a concealed carry.
Quietly draws, yeah.
Yeah, he draws and he fucking fires like I think what like 8 shots in the guy. He shoots him 3 4 times, which when you watch the video, I'm like, okay, those are legitimate. The guy still got his gun. He's still a threat, even though he's retreating. He's still a threat. You don't know where he's gonna go, so the guy should be shooting him continuously
Yeah.
until he falls or drops the gun. Well, he fell. He continued to shoot. He went up there. The gun was out of his hand. He kicked the gun away, shot him 2 more times, picked up the gun, and then shot him in the head. So he hasn't been arrested yet, but the cops are interested in speaking to him, right? So
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that last shot I think is definitely, you know, you continue till the threat stops, but this dude kept shooting.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. Yeah, the final shot to the head after he was like completely motionless on the ground and the gun was nowhere near him.
like just a dead check. Like, he's probably dead, but clack. Now we know
Yeah.
for sure.
Or maybe he was doing it like I was putting him out of his misery because he was clearly suffering. If he wasn't dead, he was dead in 30 seconds. So I figured I'll just shave off those 30 seconds. Finish him.
Mac.
Yeah. Anyway, so maybe he's been arrested now, but apparently the cops looked at the footage and like, yeah, well, we haven't arrested anybody. We'd like to talk to him. They haven't said we're issuing a warrant or anything because in Texas, that is completely legitimate use of force. Even though he wasn't pointing it necessarily at you, he was a threat to other people, and you have a
Yeah.
right to use force to protect other people, and even in the United States to protect your property. That was another thing we talked about with this kind of girl. It was like, yeah, we don't have really property rights here in Canada. We really should.
Yeah, not the same way anyway.
No. Oh yeah, absolutely, GZ. They want to arrest him, but they don't say that. They need him to make some statements first.
Yeah, we're interested in speaking with him.
Yeah. Runkle the Bailey did a nice big long video on it. And he's like, so this guy hasn't been arrested, but cops say they're interested in speaking to him. I would say don't. Get a lawyer to speak to them or speak to them through your lawyer. There's no needing there's never a good reason to talk to cops. Except in situations where you have to talk to cops, pull over a traffic stop. You know, you've been broken into and you call them to come and investigate.
Good night, Jesus.
You weren't around long, Jesus. That's okay. Hope you have a great night. I'm doing it again, Irving. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm talking more in your stream than you're talking.
Oh no, good, because I'm exhausted. I can't
Well, why'd
get
you do
over
a
how
stream
tired
tonight
I
if
am.
you're exhausted?
Because
Don't feel obligated to do it if you're not feeling up to it.
no, I'm not obligated to do it. I like these chats we have.
So do I.
Your voice is very soothing. So
Oh,
I'll tell you
thanks.
some weird thoughts I've been having since you want me to talk on my stream here.
Do it. Do it.
So, you know how like what is it? Those big five psychology traits, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Did you do one?
agreeableness. Oh, I mean, yeah, but that's not the point. I was just thinking about how agreeableness
Hmm.
is the absolute most dangerous one. People
who?
who are really, really agreeable
For who?
for everyone, for society,
Mm.
right? Agreeable people will go along to get along.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter with what. They'll just go along to get along. That's why we've spent, decades talking about how discrimination is wrong and we shouldn't discriminate against people. And then suddenly, all at once, except the unvaccinated, and all the agreeable people go, yes, of course, the unvaccinated, they're
Mm-hmm.
filthy and disgusting. And it's
Yep.
okay if they starve to death because it's better for the rest of society. They just go along
Mm-hmm.
with whatever there is. And it led me back to that stupid meme about psychos versus schizos and how
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to win the hearts of the normies, because the normies are the vast majority of agreeable people
Mm-hmm.
and they'll just go along.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I can't really fault people who want to go along to get along, because in order for any sort of complicated social system to function, you need them to make up the majority, right? You need people who will just do what they're told, because if everybody was disagreeable, then nothing could ever get done. So we kind of need those people around. Problem is, in large numbers, you're right. They could.
People aren't disagreeable for no reason,
No, no.
but when they disagree, they'll tell you flat out.
Hmm.
And it takes that kind of person to go, no, you can't murder all the Jews. No, you can't discriminate against the unvaccinated, right?
Right.
Because an
Right.
agreeable person will just shut their fucking mouth and let it happen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
So
why your arguments need to be on point, because if what you can an agreeable person will say, yeah, we should totally discriminate against the unvaccinated, until you tell them the argument for why you shouldn't, and then they go, you know what? I see your point of view. You're right. We shouldn't discriminate against the unvaccinated. Normies can be easily manipulated into either camp, right? They
yeah.
don't need to have the critical thinking skills. You just have to have it for them, right? You just have to be able to convince them that your point of view is correct. And if your point of view is the more correct one, then it should be easy enough to convince them.
Normies will only go along while they are fed.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? If society is going to function, you need the normies, you need the agreeable people to keep it trucking along. But as soon as it starts to break down, and then their source of food is in question, or their shelter is in question, they'll become very disagreeable very fucking quickly. And then they'll glom on to the most outspoken disagreeable people who've been shouting about it long before anybody else noticed. And they'll go, yeah, he was right all along. Let's be agreeable to him. We'll follow that guy.
If only.
No,
No,
that's
because
simply typically how it works, though, right? When you
but
think
what's
about it.
what's the saying about this? Every civilized society is only 3 to 6 meals away from complete anarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hence Venezuela, right?
People don't understand arguments. They only understand gravity when riding in a helicopter.
That's true. But wait a second, though. Communists aren't people.
Civil War when?
I want a revolution. I don't want a civil war. I want a revolution. I want to get a bunch of people to say, there's the source of our problems right there. I don't want to fight you. I want to go take that motherfucker down. The guy sitting up there on the top of the hill in the nice fancy chair. That's who I want to take down, not you. I got nothing against you. And let me tell you why you should want this too. That's what I want. I want an evolution.
Yeah. It still amazes me. maybe, maybe we should. Yeah, no, I'm not saying we should kill all the stupid people. I'm saying we should take the warning labels off of everything and let it sort itself out.
It's true.
Is that from West Wing, that joke? I love that joke.
It could be.
Yeah.
Ben Felsen sometime is the only solution.
But it's still like looking at people in my family that were like smart, tough people
Hmm.
that just like rolled over,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah, I had people in my family who were like, they were the whole, oh, what rights have you lost? I'm like, whatever, man. And talking about how, yes, by all means, the unvaccinated should be segregated from society. They shouldn't be allowed to do this. They shouldn't be allowed to live with other people. Go and shop with other people. I'm like, all right, I know where you would have been in 1930s Germany. I know
Yeah,
exactly where you would have been. I know that you would have been on the side of the Nazis. And they got really offended at them. Like, this is exactly the mindset that
yeah,
set people into that, that us versus them attitude. Like, this is the exact same thing. And how you can't see it's the exact same thing boggles the fucking mind. But
yeah. Like, well, I mean, what's the saying? If you ever wondered what you would have done when the Nazis were rising to power or when the commies were rising to power, you're doing it now. And that's always true, whether or not there's some communist or fascist figure rising to power. It's always true.
it's true. Oh, she messaged me back. Um, yeah, no, and that's the thing, because people don't realize they're in the midst of the chaos at the time. It's only in retrospect that you realize, wow, that was some fucking chaotic shit. That was when everything changed. You know, like when 9/11 happened. Right? 9/11 happened. It was a terrorist attack. It was an event, and I remember it happening. I'm like, this is when everything changes. This is exactly when everything
Yeah.
changes. And and I remember being on Fark. Do you remember Fark.com?
No.
Fark is like an aggregate. It's a news aggregate website. And the funny thing
Okay.
about Fark, it was before Reddit, right? So basically, people will post articles. You would click on the article and read it, and then you go to the comment section and comment on it, right? And I remember around the time of it happening, I was all about being spicy on the internet. I said, "Oh fuck, Americans are going to be completely intolerable now." And people are like, "You're an asshole! How dare you?" I'm like, "I'm not wrong though. They're going to become completely fucking intolerable. They're going to become bigger assholes than they already were." That was back when I thought America was evil. And now I know the difference. Canada's evil.
Yeah, it's a terrible place, and it's cold today. I
It was
don't want to
very
live here
cold
anymore.
today.
Yeah.
It was very cold today. I'm going to shout out an ask to the chat if that's okay with you.
Yeah, yeah.
So, folks, I've got an airsoft event coming up in March. It's a Wild West event. I mentioned it earlier on the chat. Excuse me. I'm trying to get a Mountie uniform, like a decent looking Mountie uniform, because the idea, I want to go down there and be a Northwest Mounted Police person there. Um, and I can't seem to find one. I mean, I could find a costume one, but it clearly looks like a costume one, and I want something that looks halfway decent. So if you have a surplus store in your city, I went to a surplus store today, and they did have a couple of Mountie jackets, but none of them would have fit me. They were like all very small. He says he can't source them. They just come here and there when he finds them, kind of thing. So my guess is that other surplus stores might have something similar. So if you can find something that's a Mountie red serge jacket and the blue pants with the yellow stripe, uh, uh, let me know. Either reach out to me on Twitter or whatever, um, that kind of stuff. Check a tack store. Yeah, for the breeches, you're right. I could get the breeches there, but would they have them with the yellow stripe? I don't know.
You can
I
just
could probably get the riding boots too easily at a tack store. Yeah,
cricket
that
a
would.
foam stripe for yourself.
Yeah, I could cricket a foam
Yeah.
stripe or even just iron on fabric stripe kind of
But
thing.
you got to be careful. It might be illegal. But it made me think of this. No cowboy hat. My culture is not a costume. Do you remember seeing those?
Yes.
My culture is not a costume thing. But then there was one of a Mountie,
Yeah.
and it says, "My culture is not a costume, but yours looks pretty good. Real authentic. Have a nice day."
It's true. No, it's illegal to impersonate a Mountie. If you're doing it specifically for costuming purposes, it's not illegal. Like you
Okay.
going out for Halloween dressed as a Mountie in red serge and everything, that's completely legit. If you're walking around in Ottawa in a Mountie uniform and addressing people as though you were a Mountie, now you're impersonating an officer,
Okay.
right? Yeah, I could put the stripe on easily enough. I can't sew, but I'm sure I could figure out a way to get it on there. Use some of that the liquid stitches. Yeah. I would avoid using a sewing machine at all costs, and that's why I love epoxies. Can we cheer you on somehow? Will you live stream there? I don't know. I haven't live streamed yet. Uh, I might take some video footage. I did have some video footage of Canada Man at the Rev event, but very little, like just a little bit. And I think I shared it either on your stream or my stream a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Um, but what, you can't sew? LOL. No, I probably could sew. I just can't be bothered to. I don't have a sewing machine for one, and I can't be bothered to. It seems like long, tedious work, so I just rather use liquid stitches.
Handyman's secret weapon.
Yellow duct tape. I made a Cyclops costume, like the Grant Morrison black leather jacket with the yellow X across it. I made that with yellow duct tape, and it
Nice.
looked damn good. But
Well, if you can't put together the whole Mountie ensemble,
yeah,
I have a full length brown suede duster that you could borrow. I don't know if it'll fit you.
yeah, you and I are not the same size
No,
person.
you're a much larger human than I am. You're like
Yeah.
4 inches taller than me.
Yeah, I'm a bit bigger. I've got pretty broad shoulders. The other option I have, if I can't get a mounting uniform in time, the idea would be go in a union suit. And do you know what I mean by a union suit?
Like Union versus Confederates.
No. A
Oh,
union suit is red long underwear with a butt flap.
oh,
So I'm thinking I'll wear red long underwear and a butt flap, my gun belt and my gun, cowboy hat and cowboy boots, and that's my costume. And my whole shtick will be somebody stole my pants. Trudeau impersonates a PM in Ottawa, still no charges. What's up with that?
uh,
T-Mac and C-Mac in the chat.
yeah, it's weird.
It's uncanny.
Mm,
Yeah, if you want to come to an airsoft event, just you say the word, and we'll go.
yeah, I would like to, but also I can't really drop 2 grand for a weekend.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I can't really either, but I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, I shouldn't.
Yeah, that's it. I shouldn't either.
No, if I'm gonna drop 2 grand, I may as well go for a week to somewhere tropical, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's becoming more and more difficult to do for 2 grand. I mean, you could probably still do Cuba for about that, but it's becoming much more expensive to go to destinations like that.
still.
I have a cowboy hat as well. I got it because I used to do cowboy action shooting, and still have my cowboy guns, but I have a cowboy hat. I have cowboy boots. Um, so yes, please. I need a bikini and a beach and booze.
If it'd get
uh,
me to the beach, I'd wear the bikini.
I see you there, hairy
Like
chest wearing a bikini. That'd be awesome.
Borat's sling.
With the butt cheeks exposed. Yeah, absolutely. Very nice.
Very nice. Oh, yeah. Could use a vacation.
We've got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Nano Reaper says, "Fuck Castro's illegitimate son." Yes, fuck him in the butt.
Nano, holy shit. It's been a long time.
That's all right.
Yeah. Just no Epstein's Island.
Yeah,
I think this was about my sling suit.
yeah. There you go. A sunburn would be an awesome problem. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't tan. I burn. Right. So I avoid when I go to tropical places. It's for the ambient temperature. It's not for the sun. I avoid the sun. I'll sit in the shade.
Just here painting minis.
Nice. Is Nano Reaper part of the Minions of the Zoo stream? Because I know they
Uh,
do mini painting there sometimes too.
I I know he's friends with a lot of them. I don't know if he's a regular on the show. Nano, have you been streaming with some peeps? Because yeah, I don't go on my Discord a lot, like ever anymore. So I don't see some of my old acquaintances so much. Everybody does, Costin.
It's true.
Everybody does. No way. That's okay. Oh,
Yeah, I was watching the Mini Zoo stream a little while back, and I said Canada Man wants to be on the Mini Zoo, but I told him you guys think he's a dork. Trying to get Canada Man out there. I was thinking of putting on the costume and going on Omegle and seeing what kind of reactions I get and recording everything.
do it.
I think that might be fun.
Of course, you're probably going to see a lot of dicks.
Probably. That's okay. I've seen mine. I know what they look like.
The reaction will be guys
It's
jerking
jerking
off.
off. Yeah, probably.
It's Omegle.
It's true.
Oh,
Like, why don't they just take that to ChatterBait? That's what ChatterBait's for.
because people pay money to people on ChatterBait and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just
it's
seems silly.
it's the original OnlyFans,
Yeah, true
and
enough.
OnlyFans wasn't even for porn.
Yeah, I know. It was for people who wanted to like make more money off of their free stuff on YouTube.
Yeah,
So what you're saying is I'm hanging out in the wrong places. Hey, you want to do that? You want to pull up Omegle? See if we can get a.
no.
Well, yeah, why not? I can share my
See if
screen.
we can get me a strike. Yeah.
Oh, right. I guess we'll see a dick, right? Yeah. It's too bad they don't have like an auto AI pixelation thing. You know what I mean? So like your computer will automatically pixelate anything that is like controversial or
Oh no. It's not just about the people seeing you jerk off. It's about the people acting surprised to see you jerking off.
oh my god, what did I just? You're fucking on Omegle. You know you're gonna see this.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, maybe I'll do that because I ordered a Captain Canuck onesie tight costume and it just came and I tried it on last night and it fits but it's a little tight so I think I might go a size higher and then I'll put the mask on and the neck gaiter and the gloves and then I'll go on Omegle and anytime I see a dick I'll call him a villain.
Villain.
Put that away, villain. Cover yourself, you villain.
Oh,
So what other things am I missing
yeah.
online?
I was trying to ignore it. I don't want to get into it. The internet. Tis a
Yeah,
silly place.
it is a city place. I won't show my dick on YouTube, I promise. No. Good plan there, Costin. Yeah, probably not a good idea. You heard about the girl on OnlyFans who got banned or kicked off for doing an HJ on OnlyFans?
For doing a
Or no, it was on Twitch. She was doing a giving guy a hand job on Twitch.
oh
And
yeah, that's
her channel got first she got suspended for a week. Oh no, that was the girl who's having full on sex on Twitch. The girl giving a hand job apparently got banned from Twitch.
yeah, like Twitch I understand because like literally children watch it.
Yep.
Like they're watching people play video games and that's what they want their content to be. Like YouTube is a
Mm.
little more broad.
Hmm.
There's a lot of stuff for kids, but there's stuff that's distinctly for adults, and there's stuff that's age restricted, which also gets it like invisible in searches for some fucking reason. Like,
Right.
why do I have a verified yes I'm an adult thing for YouTube if I still can't search for this age restricted video, right?
Right. Well, if that's the thing, like if YouTube's gonna have age-restricted content, like I guess extremely violent stuff, let's say, right, or stuff that is of a particularly uh, um, sensitive nature, let's say, they should have a separate portal for people to look for specifically that stuff. Because if I'm looking up something about mining, right? Suppose I'm just interested in hobbyist mining. I don't want to see a shit ton of videos about kids playing Minecraft, but invariably that's going to show up. So let me, you know, let me be able to restrict it, or let me be able to go through a specific portal to find stuff about mining.
Hmm. Fucking nano.
Yeah,
I
I
won't
said,
show my dick on YouTube. I only have an 8K webcam.
do they even make 8K webcams?
Probably. Yeah.
I'm surprised that they haven't made internal webcams in laptops better. Like they're always shitty. Like any
Yeah.
laptop you have with a webcam, it's fucking garbage. Like why don't you make these better? You've got better cameras in our phones. So it's not a matter of the size or the technology. You can clearly make a better camera in a in a laptop, but they don't for some reason.
Because they want to sell you a peripheral piece of equipment.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, I don't think Asus is making their own specific webcam, right? I don't know. Why don't you prop up this Planet Zoo thing here and we can watch it?
I mean, we can probably look at it if you really want.
It's your stream, man. You decide what you
Yeah.
want to do.
Planet Zoo.
Build my own webcam? CMAX seems to be laboring under the delusion that I'm somehow competent or skilled at anything. I'm really not. I have imagination. That's my skill. I have imagination and a passing desire to do things.
Oh yeah,
That,
talk about your recycling plan.
oh, okay. So was I saying this
And
before we went live?
yeah, the 3D unprinter.
Yeah. The 3D disassembler. So we were talking about waste management and how most things don't get recycled when you put them in your recycling bin. Most of them go to a landfill because they simply don't have the staff, or because products are designed in such a way that makes it difficult for them to be recycled. And so my idea was you'd have a system in your home where you would put all of your non-biodegradable, actually make it so that it can compost too. You put all of your waste into this device. It uses a system of cameras and other systems to analyze the stuff you put into it, and it separates it, and it pulverizes it, grinds it, melts it, whatever, down to its component elements, and then you take your little tub of these component elements, so aluminum cans shredded into like fine pieces, paper pulped or shredded down into fine pieces, and you take them to the recycling center, and you get paid for the stuff you bring in based on weight. If people did that, recycling would actually make more sense. If you could buy one of these devices, put it in your garage, put it in your kitchen, whatever, and you could just throw your empty milk carton in there, throw your empty uh, um, pop bottles or whatever, and they would be broken down in their specific component parts. And one of the things I was saying to Irving, what doesn't make a lot of sense to me is we've got these 2-liter pop bottles. They have a lid that's made out of a completely different material from the bottle itself. That is stupid. And I understand they're different materials because they have different properties, they do different things. They need to design a plastic bottle that made out of one completely single piece of material that will open and close, and you can use it, and you can recycle it all as one piece. But as it is right now, it's like they've designed products specifically to make them difficult, or packaging to specifically make them difficult to recycle, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So
Yeah, it is a little odd.
Everyone puts tape over it so the FBI doesn't.
Yeah.
Craig lies. He's smarter than he lets on. I see you over there. Crackheads already do that, getting that scrap metal. Yeah, you do. You can go and take your scrap metal, but the thing is, you've got to run around to your neighborhood and collect all that shit. Now, what if everybody were to just hang on to their pulverized aluminum cans in a little vestibule, and then when it's full, a little light comes on. Hey, this is full. You take it out, the bag or whatever, and then you take a trip to the recycling center, and they say, "Oh, you've got 3 pounds of aluminum here. We'll give you X number of dollars." It's a little piggy. You can control the actual animal.
No, just you link the camera to him,
Oh,
and he
okay,
runs around like a
and he
goof.
runs around like a goof, and you get to watch him play with your ball, piggy. So these are your boars, and they're baby boars.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
that boar took a shit. You better clean
yeah.
that up.
Keeper's coming. Don't worry. That
There's an
ostrich is in the
ostrich.
same pen. Actually, in my leucistic ostrich condo.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is that an albino ostrich, or is it just like a different
Leucistic, it's called.
leucistic?
Yeah,
What
it's
what
not
is loose?
properly albino. It just means the feathers are mostly white.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he breeds with this chick here. And when these chicks grow up, they're all gonna have like the bright white plume on the tips of their feathers.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
I like the thatch roof hut. That's pretty cool. And there's all your patrons.
Yeah, yeah. And people
That's
just
your otter container there.
yeah.
That's cute.
Oh, there's no
Also,
otters swimming right now.
there's fishies in there. Is that their food?
Yeah, yeah. It's a little fish feeder for them. They have other sources of food too.
You gotta
But yeah,
make them. You gotta give them a slide.
I
Like you
don't know
gotta
if there is one.
you gotta carve out like a little place so it's like slick mud, and then they can just slide down it.
But yeah, it's just like any other theme park builder, right? But
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it's focused on animals. What's that patch? That shiny patch in the otter pen? It's like a little square of.
oh yeah, okay, so that's like
Oh,
the
they're feeding
food
them.
feeder, yeah.
Well, that's
So they have
cool.
like yeah, live fish in the in
That
the
they
pond,
can
but
actually hunt, and then they get fed more substantial meals.
yeah.
That's kind of neat.
And where'd you go?
Is that
Oh yeah,
your aviary there?
no,
Oh, no, it's
no,
just a hut for your. What are those wild
from a
horses?
moose, from a
Oh,
moose's.
moose. Okay.
Now where? What the fuck is his name? Kevin? There he is.
Oh, there's a big daddy moose. That's cool.
Yeah, Kevin's fucking luge. It's just enormous.
Do you have any beavers?
No, not yet. But I think I can get beavers. I have to check.
C-Max says, "What garbage graphic card do you have, Irving?"
Okay, the game is a little cartoony, that's all. I have twin 2080 Ti's.
I don't know what I have. I have a. Oh, here it is. I have an AMD Ryzen 7
Nice.
built into this sucker,
My wolves.
and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX, whatever that is.
Yeah, but which one?
I don't know. No
All right,
idea.
there he is.
I can look it up. Let's see.
Fucking Benjamin.
Benjamin. Oh, he's so cute. Where's my about?
So if anyone does ever find themselves involved in this game, let me tell you right now, at the start of a game, and you don't have a lot of money, you get fucking tortoises. Okay? Any kind of tortoise. For some reason, people fucking love them. And they come to the zoo just to see tortoises. and they
They don't
spend a
even do
lot of
anything.
money.
They fucking sit
Yep,
there.
yep.
So my processor's an AMD Ryzen 7 5800H with Radeon graphics 3.2 gigahertz. Uh, yeah, I guess that's what it is. What's my? Where's my video card? Display. Look at my display. Graphics.
Yo, fucking Komodo dragons. I thought these were going to be a huge draw to my zoo. They were not.
Komodo dragons.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're infinitely more cool than fucking
tortoises.
tortoises.
You'd think, but
Ew, that's ugly. Sorry, not your thing. How do I find what graphics card I have?
so yeah, I've only really got like 6 big habitats for animals. And I got like some shops and eateries and shit. Little like picnic area, sort of centralized there.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of restaurants, but I'll build out. Because like the map is actually pretty fucking big. Like there's the other end. And there's my zoo out there.
Very cool. Well, you got a lot of property then you can
Yeah.
expand into, eh? So, is there a specific part of the world where this is located, or is this just a generic?
Generic temperate North America.
Mm.
So I don't know. Like like it snows occasionally. And yeah,
Good
you've
night.
got to worry about like climate control for some of your animals and stuff.
Good night, everyone. Stay out of the Canadian penal camps. Jeezy's going to bed.
Good night, Jeezy.
You
Yeah,
need
we'll
a
see you in the gulags.
you need a souvenir shop. You need to sell some merch.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't incorporate one into my initial plan.
Oh, you should bioengineer a virus.
No, that they don't let you do. Um,
But those are what are they showing like different bacteria and parasites you need to watch out for? Is that the idea?
yeah, and you can, yeah, research them to what's it called?
Oh,
Heal animals that are
you should
sick.
get some giant burrowing cockroaches.
I think I can. Um,
I saw that in your list. Or do you need like an insect house, like a bug house,
oh yeah, okay. So some animals only come in like a much smaller,
like internal type of building?
like this, right?
Oh,
Like
okay,
this
yeah,
this
yeah,
little
yeah.
thing has an anaconda in it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, let's see if I can. There she is.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What's her name? Angel?
Uh, I don't even know if she has one. Yeah,
It
she
looks like
must.
it says Angel there.
Where?
Does that say Angel? Does that
Oh
say
yeah,
something else?
yeah. Her name is Angel. His name is Angel. There you go. Because in the animal world, there are no trans people.
That's true.
And this is the eastern blue tongue lizard, but I can never fucking find him.
It's in a tree. I don't know. I was just guessing.
So yeah, so there are some, yeah, smaller
Little enclosures.
exhibits. Yeah,
That's cool. It looks like fun.
It is like if you're into that kind of like slow-paced building, watching your finances kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Not really my type of game. I'm like a story guy. I like telling a story or reading a story from beginning to end. Like, what's gonna happen
Yeah,
next, kind of thing, right? Like Fable 2 was like my favorite fucking game for the longest
really.
time. Love Fable 2.
So no, I like. I mean, it's not that I don't like those games. I just sometimes a lot of them end up very action intense,
Mm.
and I can't be bothered with that anymore.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I can do action games if they're not too difficult. I get easily frustrated. So, for instance, I was playing that the Batman Arkham game,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
And I get to a boss level and I'm trying to fight the boss. I don't have the I don't have the stick to itiveness to to keep fighting until I beat him. Like I'll die 4 times. I'm like, that's it. I'm not playing this anymore. I can't be bothered. Like I want it to be a challenge. I don't want it to be frustratingly difficult.
Um, yeah, no, both the ones I've actually managed to play on stream.
Hmm.
The Sims,
Yeah,
just building a house. Right?
yeah. I remember we did that one time.
Yeah, with all the cheats. Uh,
Yeah, you put a
um,
lot of angled walls and angled floor settings and stuff like that into it.
yeah, it was a pretty good house. I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that the one that you're going to go into the woods and build?
if I can, yeah.
Lauren Southern recently did a video about the homeless situation in Vancouver, eh? Did you see that one
Oh,
yet? It's just a mini
uh,
documentary. It's about 30, 40 minutes long.
no, I didn't get around to watching it because I didn't have 30 or 40 minutes at the time.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean to.
Yeah, it's quite eye-opening. It's quite interesting. She calls it the homeless industrial complex. So I guess because it's big business for NGOs and the government to earmark money and give it to uh, different um, so-called charitable organizations to go and try and address the homeless. But the fact of the matter is, they pour more and more money into it, and almost nothing of it actually goes to the things that will help in terms of like building housing, building shelters, expanding shelters, that kind of stuff. Most of it goes into the bureaucrats and having meetings and stuff like that, right? So, so yeah, it was just kind of interesting. She talked to people living on the streets, sleeping rough, as it were, in Vancouver, and it made me think like, you know what? Like, if I had the money, I would like buy like an empty lot somewhere in Vancouver and just build a bunch of little tiny houses and let people use them as temporary housing. You know, um, yeah.
No,
Well,
yeah, you can stay here, and in the first thing in the morning, here's a group of people that have a list of jobs that will take basically anybody.
yeah,
Go get one of those jobs.
yeah, yeah,
Right. Shower, clean clothes, good meal.
yep,
Let's get you set, right?
yeah. At least get
Uh,
you on the path to not being not being in danger of dying from exposure.
so Nano says you need to research a T-Rex. So funny story, I have the exact same game in Jurassic Park. It's-
Yeah. No, you need to genetically engineer a cross between a T Rex and a shark. It's like a swimming T
cool.
Rex. That would be cool. C-Mac's making muffins. What kind of muffins are you making, C-Mac?
Blueberry. That's my
Banana.
guess.
I like banana muffins. So you had an interesting family event recently. You said you had a big old meal
Oh,
somewhere.
today, yeah, yeah. We were, you know, uh, like post Christmas get together with family we didn't get to see over Christmas, and
Yeah.
yeah, I realized haven't actually like seen that side of the family too much outside of like a wedding here and shit like
Yeah,
that. And yeah, oh my god, so much food from the Italian side.
of course.
Like, lasagna is the appetizer, and then dinner starts coming out afterwards. Oh,
Yeah,
so good.
I love me a good lasagna.
Oh yeah. And like my aunt makes the noodles from scratch.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I've got
like
a
they were
pasta maker. I should make my own. Like I have a
yeah,
pot, one of those pasta roller things.
it's totally worth it. It
Well, I
is
got
so
it.
much.
The funny thing is, I got it for flattening and making using polymer clay because I wanted to use it in sculpting. Because you can make like nice thin sheets of polymer clay and put them
Right,
over
right.
an armature. She's making maple brown sugar oatmeal. Those sound good. You putting raisins in them? People don't like raisins. Some people don't just
Why
hate,
ruin them?
but raisins are awesome.
No, here's the thing. I like raisins. Get me that bag of sun-made raisins. I'll eat raisins by the fistful. Once you put them in something, you've ruined both things.
No,
Yeah, I
no.
can't do it.
Raisins in oatmeal is great. Raisins
No,
in oatmeal cookies is great. What are you talking about?
I'm the same way with banana. I love a banana. I'll eat a half a dozen bananas. Banana bread, go fuck yourself.
You're crazy. You just haven't had the right
I don't,
banana bread. Banana bread's amazing.
sure, sure. I also haven't had the right Greek food or Indian food. There comes a time where you just got to stop trying.
You don't like Greek food either, eh?
No.
I'm not a big fan of Greek food, primarily because they use lamb a lot, and I don't like lamb.
Oh, see, I
Like,
like lamb.
yeah,
The
I don't like.
problem is it's very similar, like palette and combinations of flavors
Yep,
to Italian.
yep.
It's just all overcooked. So they just ruined Italian food
And
and
they put
called it Greek food.
cinnamon shit in it and too
Yeah.
much stuff. Like I love moussaka, but when they put too much cinnamon in moussaka, I'm like, there's too much cinnamon in this moussaka. Moussaka is essentially Greek lasagna, right? Greek vegetable-based lasagna. Well, no, you put meat in moussaka. That's right, yeah. But it's essentially Greek lasagna that is
Yeah.
bechamel instead of like what do you call it,
Tomato
marinara type
sauce.
stuff. Yeah, tomato
Yeah.
sauce. Yeah.
No, so funny story. We were making jokes about how, yeah, no, 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 we should, my aunt should do little videos and post them on YouTube, right? And she was like, no, why would I do that? And I was like, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show up and just start recording without telling you and go, Auntie Mary, what are you doing? Well, I'm making this. Oh, well, what's that though? And just keep asking her questions, and she'll keep like swatting me away and telling me how to do it, and then I'll post that on the.
Yeah, it's like stealth video
Oh
documenting
yeah,
her. Yeah, that's cool.
cooking with Zia Maria, but
That's
nobody
funny.
calls her Zia Maria. It's Auntie Mary.
You guys don't call her Zia?
No.
Really? That's funny. Because I have Italians in my family. Like Melina's sister married an Italian, and the Italian aunts and uncles, they call her them Zia and Zio, right?
Yeah, yeah, but
Uh,
we never did. I mean, her grandkids call her Nona.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. We just never did that.
C-Max says, please do it. Yeah, there you go.
No, because you know what? I think it makes for a very interesting format of this like Italian woman just going around her kitchen. What's that? What are you doing? Get out of my way!
That would be funny. That would be funny. She doesn't realize she's on video, and
Oh yeah,
then you
just edit
upload
it
it,
down.
and then you just email her the link. Hey, Auntie Mary.
No, you kidding me? Wait for it to hit 1 million subs and then
Then
start
send it to
emailing
her.
her the money.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she's like, what's this money? That'd be funny. That'd be funny. You like cooking though too, don't you?
Yeah,
You ever thought of doing a cooking YouTube channel?
I mean, I'm not good enough to do that.
Yeah, but you could do it also very low key format, right? Very,
Yeah,
very not not produced. Like just like, all right, making this.
no, yeah, and just like simple ways to do shit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make cinnamon rolls from scratch. I had a buddy in college who did that. He made cinnamon rolls from scratch, and I'm like, "What are you doing there, Warren?" He's like, "Making some cinnamon rolls." Oh, cool.
okay,
Like normally, my mom would just go get the fucking Pillsbury thing and bang it on the counter and just
yeah,
fucking lay them out in a pan. It's like, no, 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 no. And he made the cinnamon, and I'm like, and they were good. Like before he went off to college to do animation, he'd studied to be a chef, and he was very close to becoming a chef.
oh,
and so he would make really really good food. And I remember one time it was our buddy Kevin's birthday, and he went and got a big one of those big round loaves of bread, like a I don't know what type of bread it was. I think it was like in a I don't know. It's like a what do you call those loaves? A round loaf, burl or anyway. He got a round loaf of bread. He got a bunch of meat, like ground beef. He made a gigantic burger in a fry pan, and he cut this round loaf of bread like this big in
Yeah.
half, filled up with lettuce, tomato, onions, ketchup, mayo, and made this giant burger for his friend for his birthday, and he put it on a plate. So it was like the size of one burger, the size of like a regular
Yeah.
dinner plate. It's like, happy birthday, Kevin. Here's your burger. I told you I'd make you dinner. I said, what do you want? You said burgers, so I made you a burger. Like, you couldn't just do a burger on the barbecue, right? He made this gigantic burger. And I think Kevin ate probably like an eighth of it. He's like, that
Yeah.
was really good, but I can't eat the rest.
No, yeah, no. You're supposed to invite a bunch of people and then cut it like cake and serve it in wedges.
Now Reaper's making fun of you. There's only so many ways to make PB&J.
Hey, hey.
Irving's a good cook. From what I understand, when it's time to cook, he cooks like he goes all out.
I'm a good cook the way I'm a good guitarist. The things I can do, I do really, really well.
You just can only do so many things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll cook the shit out of a box of Kraft Dinner, pal. Make no mistake, my Kraft Dinner like is better than anybody's Kraft Dinner.
I believe it.
And what else? Tuna fish sandwich? Oh yeah, you've never had one of my tuna melts. My tuna melts are amazing. My wife doesn't like tuna melts, but every time I make one, she wants a bite of my tuna melt.
So, a while back, I was experimenting with something. I was like, oh, I think I could make this. This sounds simple enough, right? So, making a sauce, frying something. And my sister would happen to be around, and she was part of my test group, I guess. Like, I guess if you make it, you always, I don't know, either like it or hate it. I don't know. Are you your own worst critic? But also, you're making food that you want to eat, so it's going to be good. So I would just be like, hey, try this. And she'd try it and go, oh, yeah, it's good. Oh, this one's even better. And after a few tries, she comes to me and she says, okay, so my birthday's coming up, and what I want for dinner is for you to make those po' boys. I was like, oh, right in the heart.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like, she liked them so much that was her birthday dinner.
What do you put on a po' boy?
Literally nothing. Like, you just get the a nice, good, like, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside roll, little lettuce, and then if you made the remoulade and fried your shrimps right, it all just comes together, right?
Yeah. Yeah, see, my wife is like, I'm a very pedestrian type of cook, so when I'm making my tuna melt, I'm using American cheese or processed cheese.
Oh, okay.
She's like, no, you got to use cheddar, and I'm like, no. I use Miracle Whip, not mayonnaise.
What?
Yes, I use Miracle Whip, not mayonnaise.
Jesus.
I use American cheese. I put the tuna with the Miracle Whip, and I cut up green onion. I put in corn relish, and then slice of cheese on both sides of bread, and it's fucking delicious. And you might think it sounds disgusting, but it actually sounds it tastes really good. Of course, the best po' boys are in New Orleans. Yeah, no doubt.
But it's Central Grocery in the French Quarter. Very specific.
Po' boys have crawfish in them.
So, funny story. Po' boys have whatever the fuck you want on them. It's literally just fried sandwich. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? And the important thing is your remoulade. And you can use shrimps, chickens, crawdads, or gator.
I've had gator. Have you ever eaten gator?
Yes.
I like gator.
But I had canned gator, like Vienna sausage gators. It was still pretty good.
Yeah. Stop that. Cat's clawing up the furniture. Actually, I'm going to leave you to your stream for a minute while I go feed the cat. Let the dog out one more time.
Oh, no.
Why?
Because I don't have any topics.
Well, you can.
You're talking about cooking.
Talk more about cooking. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Yeah, no, I should have. a channel of just simple recipes for single dudes how to eat healthy and delicious on a budget. Yeah, no. I killed a ninth. Do you mean 9 foot gator last year during the season? Because that's a big fucking gator. Yeah, 9 foot. Gator tail with shrimp sauce is fantastic. Yeah, I would definitely like to try gator in a different format than fucking open the can and just eat gator. Uh, 9 foot is medium sized. Jesus fucking gators. God damn. That's still it's big to me. No, I had a thought about this. Oh, okay, yeah. So the thing that I want to do next, 12 foot is a big one. The thing I want to do next is something weird. I need some brave people to come and eat it. Because I'm been reading about deer heart tartare. And yeah, my brother-in-law and my sister's boyfriend are pretty adventurous. You know, they'll eat what's in front of them. Uh, so yeah, like just get like a nice crostini and bake like basically little garlic breads, and then deer heart tartare scooped onto the crostinis as an adventurous appetizer before dinner. But of course, you got to get your deer hearts super super fresh, so you got to wait for them to be in season. You got to know the right like butcher shops and stuff, which my brother-in-law does. So we can figure it out. No, deer heart tartare is too much here. Oh, heart isn't bad. Eyes are gross. So my grandfather was born on a farm in Calabria, and his favorite treat that my grandmother would cook for him once a year on his birthday, she would go to the butcher shop and get the entire sheep's skull with the brain, eyes, and tongue still in it, and she would bake it all in the skull and then serve it to him. And then he would crack open the skull and eat the brains, and yes, just pluck eyeballs and I made it.
Of course you did.
Talked about gross food.
Eyes are gross though. What's other gross? Gator tail with shrimp. Heart isn't bad. I've never had what is it called? Offal? Is that what it is? Offal?
You've never eaten liver?
I've eaten liver. That's probably the
Oh,
only offal I've eaten.
yeah.
Um,
Head and sheephead in Scotland. This woman's adventurous.
she is, yeah. She's lived quite the interesting life. I'm drinking full sugar Pepsi. This is gonna taste really
What?
weird. Yeah, well, that's all I have right now. Oh my god, it's so sweet. um, yeah, I'm not a fan of liver. I'll eat it, but I'm not a fan. But that's the weird thing is though. I love fucking liver pate. Like I love pate. Love
Oh,
pate. Maybe I'll go on a
just
pate
done
diet.
right.
Get lots of protein, right? Lots of iron.
Yeah. No, and like
Liver.
if you're eating liver, that's there's a reason that predators tend to go for the liver first, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
where they get their vitamins,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Gross things, other gross foods. Melina's mom, she likes the turkey neck, and I'm like, I know some people like eating the meat from the neck. I'm like, that just sounds
yeah,
like a real fucking pain in the ass to try and eat because it's all like tendon and shit like that. Ugh.
yeah. And pop up. Nope. Yes.
I ate head cheese as a kid, like it was candy. Yeah, I like Creton. Have you ever had Creton?
Oh, I must be pronouncing it wrong,
It's like
or I'm thinking of something else.
it's basically pork. Uh, it's it's cooked in milk and it's turned into like a pate. So you ground pork, you spice it, you cook it in milk, and then it turns into this like pate that you spread on toast. And typically people put mustard on it, but I don't think you need mustard. But it's very salty. Like it's really salty, but I really, really love it.
Uh, Newfies do like basically a pickled beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, salt beef, and
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy. It's like Newfie prosciutto.
There's a guy on YouTube called James Townsend and Son, and basically he does 17th century cooking, and he goes through potted meat, like how would you get potted meat, like because a lot of soldiers would have had potted meat in the 17th century, that kind of stuff. It's like, so this is how you would prepare it, and this is what you would have out there as part of your rations. Or pemmican, he makes pemmican. He'll make potted meat. He'll make all sorts of stuff. And the problem is he's using recipes that really didn't have a keen idea about precise measurements, so he has to kind of
Right.
guess, right? But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how they used to cook back in the day.
Yeah. Add salt. How much? Enough.
Yeah, a pinch of salt. Salt to taste. Salt to taste is always like you put as much salt as you want on it. But yeah, it'll just say take 4 large eggs, salt and cornmeal and mix the blah blah blah. But it doesn't say how much cornmeal. It doesn't say how much salt. You just like, I don't know. The idea is that you would know enough to get it to the consistency that it needs to be before you bake it, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to add too much cornmeal, you're not going to add too much flour because it needs to be in the form of a dough because the name of the thing is something bread. So it needs to be like a loaf by the time you're done with it. So
Okay, what about delicious foods that aren't gross?
what's my favorite? The best meal. Hmm. Trying to think about best meal I've ever had. It was in New York. I went to a place after a play called Azaleas,
Hmm?
and I had what was it? It was like a pork shoulder or something like that. It was like really, really good. It was like so, so tender. It's just like melted off the bone. It was really good. Yeah, that's probably the best meal out at a restaurant I've had. Yeah, pork shoulder. That was a long time ago. I don't like that anymore. Now it's craft dinner and tuna fish.
One of my favorite meals of all time was in Vegas at one of the restaurants in the Paris.
Yeah,
Or was it? Yeah, and it was like a wild boar ragu. I almost cried
yeah. Is that good, eh?
while eating it. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, don't tell my Aunt Mary.
There's a. You're gonna think this is like ridiculous, but there's an Italian restaurant in Universal Studios at their City Walk called Viva Italiano, and you think, oh, this is gonna be like fucking Olive Garden kind of shit, right? Because
Right.
you're at a ostensibly a theme park, but it's like a really, really good Italian restaurant, and I had uh, a veal parmesan, and first off, it's America, so the portion sizes are ridiculous, and this thing tasted, it was so good on um, it was on a bed of flat noodle. I can't remember what, it wasn't fettuccine, it was something else, but it was just so damn good. I'm like, wow, I did not expect the food here to be that good.
Rodelli?
What's that? Sorry.
Pappardelle
Could have been
noodles.
pappardelle. Those are the fat ones, right?
Yeah, they're fat and short, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like,
Might have been that.
yeah.
Might have been. It was a flat noodle. It might have been that. But god damn it, it was good. It was really, really good. And I'm like, did not expect this at a restaurant in Universal Studios.
Yeah.
But hot damn, it was good. Wild Boar are in Ontario now.
Yeah, and Trudeau's taking away their people's guns.
Yeah, I know. The Big Texan Steakhouse in Amarillo, Texas, has bison that is heaven on earth. Yeah, I would bet it would be. Uh, Not to be racist, but whitefish is the best. What's your favorite whitefish, though? I like halibut. I'm having fish and chips. It's got to be halibut, not haddock. In
Yeah, I
terms
love
of
halibut.
a like a broiled fish or like baked fish, I like tilapia. I like tilapia breaded too.
Yeah, yeah. But
Time to smoke a joint. 25 minutes to muffins. You should put some can butter in your muffins. Paper bag ASMR.
what's that?
Paper bag ASMR. Oh, you got
Oh,
some cannabis.
edibles. Yeah,
What are they? Are they
these
gummies
are
or chocolates or?
caramel. This one,
Oh, nice.
and these are gummy candies and sour something.
Yeah.
Like a Sour Patch Kid or whatever.
Yeah.
But these are like 60 milligrams each.
Oof.
It's pretty good.
So you have one and you're like set for the night kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
caramels are only 10 each, so I take two.
Yeah. There you go. I have decided that that edibles are my jam when it comes to cannabis.
Yeah,
I
I'm really starting to enjoy them.
Yeah, they're just so much better of a high for me because you don't feel like you're fucked up. You just feel really, really mellow and cool. You know what I mean?
Just eat some hash. It's cheaper.
Eat some hash. I remember hash was big when I was in high school. Doing hot knives on like Friday night at a party.
Fucking hot knives.
Yeah, doing hot knives or like putting it
Bottle
in like a
tokes.
bottle toke. Yeah, that was the way. I always found that my mouth got a lot drier with hash though than with smoking like weed.
Mm.
Like I felt like I had cotton mouth immediately after doing a bottle toke. I'm like, I need water.
Yeah, hot knives is terrible. No one should ever do hot knives.
No, no. Heat up metal to the point where it burns anything it touches. Yeah. I have a PAX 2 or PAX 3 atomizer, like vaporizer for
Hmm.
cannabis. So loose leaf cannabis you put in there. And it works, but the problem is when I vaporize or inhale it, one, it doesn't matter how it's being done, either vaporizing or smoking it, I cough like an idiot. And whenever I smoke, I get really, really anxious about it. Like I'm high and I'm enjoying myself, but I'm anxious about being high. It's weird. It's
But
like I'm,
edibles don't do that to you, eh?
edibles don't do that. Edibles just make me super mellow. And I actually find I'm actually productive when I'm on edibles.
Hmm.
Like I can actually like I don't just get couch lock. I'll like, oh, I'm feeling really good. You know what? I think I'm gonna go work on that thing that I was working on before. And I'll go and I'll get that shit and I'll start working on it. And I'm like, maybe that's the way to go.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely enjoy them.
Yep. So we've got Stan in London, right? Stan, you're in London, you said, right?
Hmm.
Where's Nano Reaper located?
Southern U.S.
Okay. Costin, we know, is in Stratford. C-Max in Kingston. What's going on in your neck of the woods this weekend, folks? Stan, what are you doing out there London way?
Not like a Saturday night and they're watching YouTube.
There you go.
Canadian YouTubers.
No, just there might be shit going on in the neighborhood, you know. Current events. I don't know what's going on in Burlington. I know that traffic is stupid on the weekends. I know that.
Mm.
Sauna. C-Mac's going to a sauna.
Nice.
Maybe C-Mac has a sauna in her home. I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
She has horses. She probably have a sauna. What are you chewing on, the caramel or the gummy?
Caramel.
Oh, there's a sauna downtown. We have a sauna spot downtown. That sounds like fun. Oh. What am I going to do this weekend? I want to work on that RPG Maker game at some point. I know the wife's going to try and get me to clean up parts of the house that I need to clean up. I'll try and put that off.
And I got to go to work.
Oh, you working tomorrow?
Yeah.
What time?
Afternoon, but
Horses are only expensive if you compete. So if you just have a horse for the pleasure of riding, it's not that expensive.
I guess if you already have like the land and stuff
Yeah.
to accommodate the horse. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they like oats and such, but don't they mostly eat grass?
Yeah. I'd like to have a goat just to mow my lawn. So I don't have to mow my lawn. Just to keep a goat on a rope and say, just go to town, man. Eat the lawn. I don't know if my neighbors like that because I only have a front lawn.
Hmm.
Might not like the goat wandering around on the lawn. I could get the milk. Like goat milk. Goat.
She has a show horse.
Mine will show later this summer. That's cool. Did you go to the what do you call it? What's that show in Toronto at C&E?
Oh, I've only ever just noted it's the horse show.
There's the agricultural winter fair. Is that it? Agricultural winter fair? Yeah. Used to go that all the time because there was always like vendors that sold like really good meat.
Mm. And that building was attached to our building, so
The Royal Agricultural Winter Fair. That's right.
So what else?
See, man, you gotta come up with topics to talk about. What else? What else? What else?
I've been ignoring everything but work.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, have you heard the Hogwarts Legacy nonsense going on?
A little bit. That basically, if you support J.K. Rowling in any way, you're a transphobe bigot,
Yeah,
and we have to shut you out of society.
that's right.
Yeah, you have to be segregated.
Yeah, just like the unvaccinated. Yeah, it's insane, man. This cultural divide we got there, how it's all facets of reality, like even video games. Like, and here's the funny thing: Harry Potter, for like the weebs on the left, for the longest time was like their Bible. You know, they used to love it. And now, since J.K. Rowling said, "Yeah, you know, I don't think women should be competing in, or men should be competing in women's sports," all of a sudden she's the worst fucking. She's like British Hitler, you know. I mean, it's fucking hilarious. Did you see? Did you get the self-owned by Alyssa Milano?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
so she
sure
goes,
I replied to that tweet.
Oh, did you really? What'd you reply?
Wait. Is this the one about how she sold her Tesla
Yes.
for a Volkswagen?
For Volkswagen, it's great to have an ethical, you know, car. Blah 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 blah.
Volkswagen. No, yeah, I saw that and I just replied, Ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Wagen.
That's funny. Yeah, it was the Hodge twins who said, Volkswagen was made by literal Nazi Adolf Hitler. And then what was it? Musk just responds with like the crying laughing emoji and 100%. So funny. Yeah, she is stupid. You know, you would think that some at some point Hollywood types would have this moment of self awareness and realize, you know what, we really shouldn't be. Things were much better when we weren't commenting on everything political. That we were apolitical about things. Maybe we should just fucking go back to that.
Because they're just all ego.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
But
that's it.
there was a time when the Oscars it was considered very rude and uncouth for you to bring up political subjects at the Oscars in your acceptance speech or whatever. And you just didn't do it, right? And now if you don't do it, you're considered, you have to make some comment about oppressed group X or, terrible happening somewhere in the world. Otherwise, you're blacklisted. They must be a Trump supporter if they don't talk about Black Lives Matter in a glowing way. Stuff like that.
That's
It's
why that Ricky Gervais intro monologue.
oh, it's so good,
Yeah.
so good, and you can see how uncomfortable like guys like Tom Hanks were. Right? He's like, fuck.
Oh yeah. No, like that thing where he said something about Jeffrey Epstein and the audience groans, and he's like, "Don't. Why are you groaning? He was your friend."
Yeah, exactly. So true. Yep, so true. Yeah, if it's completely oblivious to their own stupidity when it comes to things like that. Sean Penn gives a fucking introduces what first off, what is Zelensky doing at the Golden Globes? But he introduces Zelensky and fucking breaks down crying. And then part of me is like, I wonder if he's breaking down crying because he knows that, it's coming very close to the revelation that all of these Hollywood people have been fucking and eating children for years, and Zelensky probably has the dirt on all of them. So he's like, "Here's the guy who actually owns me." That's why he can keep coming to Congress every couple of months. They give me more money because if you don't, I'll release all of the dirt on all of you.
No, there's a much deeper conspiracy about all of this, eh?
What's that?
Right? If he had the dirt, he would just have been assassinated by now. He would have been removed. Right? There's something bigger at play.
Yeah. Well, also they get to fight a proxy war with Russia, so there's that, right?
Yeah.
But he's also been very friendly to them in terms of their money laundering schemes, in
Yeah,
terms
of
of like
course.
Congress, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, no, he's completely useful. Why wouldn't we keep him in power?
Yeah.
But my guess is the reason they're continuing to advocate on his behalf is one, gives them basically a blank check to keep printing more money and keep enriching themselves by as long as this war goes on. It's like something that can be politically leveraged against their enemies very easily. Like, oh, you don't want to support Ukraine, you must love Putin then, right?
Right.
And on top of that, but I'm just thinking, you know what? He's been dirty dealing with them all for so long. I'm sure he has records of everything, and he probably has a dead man switch on it too. If they assassinate him, it all comes out.
I
Every
don't
bit of
know.
it comes out.
I don't think he's that clever.
I think he's shrewd enough.
Nah, he's a puppet. He's a puppet for others. Look, what was one of the things that he did recently? He's banned Russian Orthodox churches.
Yeah, he's done basically. Done the totalitarian playbook, pretty good.
Yeah.
He shut down all the presses, like all of the media. He banned religious services, yeah, for Russian Orthodox or any Orthodox church for that matter. But
No,
yeah,
any Orthodox church? I thought it was just Russian.
well, it's primarily Russian Orthodox Church in Ukraine and Russia, right? So
See, but yeah, but Ukraine also has a Ukrainian Orthodox church
yeah,
now.
my guess is they're probably still fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, you know, a Jew shutting down Christian churches, it's not a good look.
Oh, is he Jewish? I didn't know he was Jewish.
You didn't know he was Jewish?
No, I knew he was Ukrainian. I didn't know he was Jewish.
Oh no, yeah, no, they've been touting oh, Ukraine is the first non-Israel country to have its first and second position in government to have Jews. Yeah.
And yet, it's full of fucking Nazis.
He also said something like, the future of Ukraine is going to be more like Israel.
Did he?
Yep.
An apartheid
That's
state?
fucking weird.
An apartheid state where ethnic Russians are treated like second-class citizens and have to live in the worst parts of the fucking country?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, man, you do you. Oh, well. I tell you what, it's all just a bunch of nonsense. One quick dub is in the house. Triple backslash. I don't know what triple backslash means.
Is it like the new Echo brackets?
Maybe. Yeah, I saw him on what stream? I think he was in Minions the other day. Yeah, he was in Minions of the Zoo the other day, and he mentioned you. He's like, wow, is Irving still... I haven't seen Irving Twin in a long time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we still live stream. So he obviously came over.
Oh, it's the Diagolon salute?
Oh, is that the Diagolon salute? Where's One Quick Dub?
It takes a little while for StreamYard to pick it up. It'll pop up in a second.
I see him saying it's Diagolon salute, but I'm just wondering where One Quick Dub is located.
Oh.
That he knows about Diagolon.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't really follow those guys. I probably should.
Who? The Minions?
No, Jeremy and...
Oh, the Jeremy McKenzie or whatever? Diagolon?
Yeah.
I'm in Ontario. Hey, fellow Ontarian. The worst part of Canada. Good to know you. Oh, are you frozen up there, Irving? Did I lose you? Oh, I might have lost Irving. He's frozen on my end. And he's out of the chat. Looks like it's just me. Well, folks, I will carry the stream until he gets back in. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
Where did you go?
My internet's been spotty for a couple days, too.
That's okay. They kicked me out. I guess I'm too radical. I've been part of it since the beginning, but they kicked... Oh, C-Mac, were you part of the Minions as well? I tried to get Irving to come on at one time.
What? See, my internet's spotty. I can't even pull this up.
I see.
Yeah, come on where? What, on Minions? I've made a guest appearance on Minions. A couple times.
The thing that I don't like about Minions of the Zoo is none of them show their faces. They're just the icons with the little, like, vibrating, sound thing. And I'm like, when people are talking, I want to see them speak. That's why I like this. Yeah, I saw you on Offside. Oh, that's right. I saw you on the Offside. That's a good stream, too.
Who's Offside?
They're a bunch of Canadians. They're Freedom Convoy supporters. People who are involved in the Freedom Convoy. They're called Plaid Army, Diagolon Dudes.
Yeah, I remember. But like that was also right around the time that I had some issues with having met too many internet friends.
Slippin' Lizard and Trev Lee. That's right. Those are the tube names that are associated mostly with them. Yeah. Yeah, I was in their stream the other night. I was chatting at them and say, hey, yeah, I got a live stream. I'd love to come on your show or do. Those guys are all my buddies.
Oh yeah,
so I'd love to go on their live stream. Show my channel, show your channel. That'd be fun.
Yeah. But now it's a honeypot.
Oh, it's a honeypot. Why is that? Oh, so they're using it to like catch radicals? Is that it?
Well, that's unfortunate.
They do say some pretty spicy shit. Like not Pox Toxic level of spicy, but pretty spicy. Yeah, I mean, they've said some things that I could see, Canadian MPs in their discussions about online censorship using things they've said to smear people. I could see that. But
Hmm.
they're not a gigantic channel. Like, they're not Clyde Do Something or Greg Wycliffe size, right? They're not the size of, Viva Fry or anybody else. They're just a little channel. So, the feds are watching everything in the community is chaotic. The feds are probably watching this stream right now. Fred's probably watched the ammunition.
Pox is the worst.
Worst.
And by worst, she means best.
he's pretty his filter could use a little bit shoring up, I think, sometimes. But no, I like Pox. He's a great guy.
Yeah, have I frozen again?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, try to stay tight, Dub. Keep the info on a need to know maybe. Look up Operation Hendon. It's the OPP investigating us. There are dozens of investigations. Interesting.
God,
Oh,
our RCMP officer must be so fucking bored.
it's true, right? We're talking about fucking cooking eyes and fucking liver. you know, they
No,
talked
like,
about
like
us at the P. Oh, really? It was pretty absurd. Really? They talked about the offside at the Public Order Emergency Commission? That's kind of
yeah,
funny.
they brought up Diagolon as if it was a real place.
Oh, I know, I know. They talked about Diagolon like it was a real insurgent movement, but anybody who's even slightly aware realized it was a joke, right? Yeah, yeah, I know they talked about Diagolon. I'm like, oh fuck, really? They're bringing up Diagolon?
No, and then what was the best one during the actual protest in February was one of the Liberal MPs was trying to suggest that honk honk
Yeah, it was
meant
Heil
H
Hitler,
H. Yeah,
which
was
means Heil
high.
Hitler.
Like, where the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? That's
But
that's a stretch.
a clip from the Outside Guys went viral. That was what Derek said. He thought it would be funny if a truck rammed the wall like on
Ah, yes.
January 6th. Yeah,
Good
but
old Rance Derrick, the spiciest of all.
yeah, but I mean, saying it would be funny if this happened is not the same as saying I want this to happen. Derek's mouth is his worst enemy. I've been told the same thing.
Tarek Fatah's mouth is Derrick's worst enemy. And that is so meta. Not everyone's gonna get that.
Who's Tarek Fatah?
Oh, some Indian pundit who lives in Canada who
Oh,
got in a kerfuffle with Derek at a PPC meeting. Yeah. I did a video on it years ago. It was great. The penguin, yeah.
penguin.
He's the Indian penguin. Yeah,
Well,
right down to the cane.
Canada Man said the other day when they were saying, "Oh, so and so is going to be at Davos," like all of these leaders were going to be at Davos. I'm like, it sure would be a shame if a meteor struck Davos. That's like me calling for a meteor to strike, right? And watch a meteor strikes, and then they're going to be some conspiracy about how certain government agencies can control meteors and fucking do mass driver guns in space.
No, yeah, they've had those tractor beams
Yeah,
for a long time now.
for sure.
Like the dinosaurs didn't go extinct; they
No,
were murdered.
that's right. For oil. Time travelers went back, destroyed
Put
them because they're like,
put them in the
we
ground.
need the
Yeah.
oil. We're gonna need the oil in the future, so we better extinct them.
See, this is exactly how I feel.
Please, sweet baby Jesus, rain fire from the sky. I like baby Jesus. You know, there's not just baby Jesus. There's lots of other Jesuses. Yeah, but I like baby Jesus. I pray to baby Jesus. Fucking Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Man, that's one of the funniest Will Ferrell movies. Talladega Nights.
Yeah, fuck. Hit him in the face with his cane. So yeah, there was a PPC meetup,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Before their first run.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek was there not only to show support, but he was actually like manning the door and it wasn't open yet.
When you say Derek, do you mean Derek?
Rance Derek,
Oh, okay.
right, from Plaid Army.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and Tarek Fatah just walks up with like his entourage and is basically demanding entrance. And Derek's trying to explain to him it's not open yet, and Tarek Fatah is just not listening. And he's up in Derek's face, and like the way he's talking at him, he's talking very exuberant. He's speaking moistly,
Oh, okay.
and you can see Derek like flinch as he's getting spit in the face. So he pushes Tarek Fatah away from him, and Tarek Fatah smacks with his fucking cane.
What?
Yeah,
Was he
yeah, and
charged?
like
Was he ultimately charged with assault?
no,
He should have been.
yeah,
Should have been charged with assault with a weapon.
no, but everybody was looking at it like, punk shoves old man. It's like, no, old man was sitting in my face and I pushed him away.
Oh,
Yeah, I
so
didn't
he's an
want him
old
to do
guy.
that.
He's not like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
has a cane, but it's not just for show.
yeah.
Like he needs it, kind of thing.
Yeah, because Derek doesn't live far from us either. That, a couple of times we were in and around the same area and just didn't get to meet up. And then, yeah, now we just don't reach out anymore. He's very busy with his Plaid Army and stuff.
Sure, sure.
Good for him.
Well, what's his name? Wycliffe was down to Toronto covering the PPC protests against the Ontario College of Psychologists. Eh?
I'm pretty sure he lives here.
Who? Wycliffe?
Wycliffe.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, I'm just saying he was down there covering the protest. Greg Wycliffe was covering the protest. He did like a big long video about it. It was interesting. It was a good. It was a good little video.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I saw the notification. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to go somewhere public in Toronto and I'll run into him, eh?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Wycliffe is from Toronto, Parkdale, I think. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, he's been on Irving's stream. We had him on the stream a while back.
Yeah,
quite a
yeah, but
while
I'm always
back.
fucking blind drunk by the time he shows up.
You also need to be kind of respectable because he doesn't want to, as spicy as his takes are, he doesn't engage in a lot of profanity. He doesn't engage in a lot
Yeah.
of like fringe conspiracy theories or anything like that, right? Whereas we joke about that shit all the time.
Oh,
So we gotta like if he's on when he was on with us, I know that we were kind of both sort of holding back a bit.
well, I
I
mean,
want to go to one of these protests though, dressed as Canada Man.
no, and these days, thanks to Kanye.
Thanks to Kanye.
Yeah, we could just rip on Jews. Like,
That's right. Thanks, Kanye. You opened the door.
yeah.
Mel Gibson's like, what the fuck? Why did that all happen to me? But Kanye can get away with it. Funny
Yeah, it's
shit.
hilarious.
I picked up this sweater today at Mark's Work Warehouse for $25.
Looks comfy.
It's very nice. I quite like it. It was on sale, and I got a gray one too. This is the gray one. I got a blue one too. Yeah, he wants to be respected, and the problem is that unless you have the same political beliefs, you'll never be respected.
You know what it is? He's young enough to still be idealist that he thinks he can, what's the word? He can attract more flies with honey, and all that's left in me is piss and vinegar.
Hmm.
So that's,
So what you need to do is, who's that guy in the United States who complimented AOC on her ass?
oh shit.
What was his name?
His big booty Latina or whatever.
That's
Is that
right.
he-
What the fuck is his
Yeah.
name? He's been on
Fuck.
Tim Pool a couple of times. So
Yeah,
Canada
I can't
needs
remember.
him. He needs one of those guys. We need one of those guys. So maybe you can be that guy. Drop a few, knock a few back just before you go out to one of these protests,
Alex
Alex Stein,
Stein.
that's it. Irving Twin should be the Alex Stein of Canada. And you go to these political events and you just Alex Stein everybody.
He's way more jovial than I am. Like he
Well, yeah,
sat
but
there getting spat on and shoved and
oh yeah, and
like,
he's just laughing the entire time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, no, no. No, no, I would not abide. Something bad would happen ultimately to me because I'd be horrifically outnumbered.
Yeah, but that's why you have people with you, right? You don't just go on your own. You have like
Ugh,
security. Like Lauren Southern has everywhere she goes, she has to have security with her now.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we need an Alex Stein. Canada Man needs to be a symbol of like forthrightness and goodness, so he can engage in those kind of shenanigans. But there's no reason why Irving Twin couldn't be Canada's Alex Stein. Going up there cracking wise and making people feel like making the normies lose their shit, and making the woke lose their shit. The normies wouldn't lose their shit. The normies would go, you know, you have a point. I kind of agree with you. It's the woke, you know, ideologically possessed folk that are going to lose their shit on you. But I think it'd be good. I'll be there. I'll be there and support you. I'll hold the camera. You can walk around with a microphone like you're a real commentator, like a real like news person.
Oh, I should just get a wooden spoon like Fleckus.
There you go, with a little microphone attached to it. Yeah. No, you should get I was gonna say something distinctly Canadian. I think somebody's done a mini hockey stick already, so I wouldn't do the
Right.
mini hockey stick. I think you should do something distinctly Canadian. Maybe like a decoy goose head. So you know those decoys you can buy at Canadian Tire.
Lacrosse is too racist.
Lacrosse is
How
too
about a
racist.
ringette stick?
There you go. Why is lacrosse racist? Because we stole it
Because it
from
was
the natives.
invented by the natives. Yeah.
I
But
actually, it was funny. I was telling people when I was in Virginia, I was like, "So I bet you like hockey, eh?" I'm like, "No, lacrosse. Lacrosse is Canada's national sport because it really is, right? Like technically, it's our national sport." But I don't go to protest until it's time to set things on fire. Call
C-Mac, it's always time to set things on fire. There you go. Our CMP officer. There's something. You can show some
yeah, you can
spirit.
go
Look at that.
investigate CMAC. She's in Kingston, by the way.
No, investigate me. I did the actual call to action.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go dress as Canada Man to one of these PPC events or one of these protests and just be down there for people. And I should film it, but I probably won't. I just want to make an appearance. Let other people film me. I think I
I'll
lost
do
you
the
again.
filming. We'll go.
You'll film me? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you have a good camera, like beyond the phone camera? I mean, you can just use a phone camera. Yeah, your internet's spotty tonight. You're here, but you're breaking out, and you're all pixelated in the images there. You want a Diagolon press pass? You just have to print it out, add a passport photo, and laminate it. Really? That's funny. I should do that. I bet you they're probably tracking anybody who searches the Diagolon or goes to the Diagolon website.
Someone was making jokes about how, like, the government's always listening, everything, like, your stupid Facebook is always listening to you, and it
Yeah.
it gives you very specific ads based on things that you've said, right? That when you weren't on Facebook, and everyone had their phones on the table and was asking, "What do we get for my brother-in-law?" I was like, "Does he have a really, really big backpack?" What? No. Why would he need a really big backpack? What about a pressure cooker? And it was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, yeah, no, you're on every government watch list ever now because your phone's picked that up.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right.
They go after people who donate, like donate to
Oh, okay.
Diagolon.
Why would I donate to Diagolon? It's a joke country.
Or
I
is it
mean,
just
I might buy a
donate to the
T-shirt. I might
streamers?
buy like a fake flag. That'd be funny. I guess that's technically donating.
I don't,
Oh well, what are you gonna do? I don't have much faith in the government or the RCMP being capable of doing anything of significance. Anyway, they don't really have anything on me apart from jokes. But I guess they could character assassinate me. They could say that he's he fetishizes trans people because he keeps saying how much he loves Blair White.
and he dresses up in spandex and
He
a
dresses up in
mask.
spandex and a mask. Yeah. He plays with fake guns in foreign countries. Oh well.
No, my favorite story about when people are talking about government and why would government do that. It's like,
Mm.
look, let me tell you the best of government. This is the best the government can do. There was an old folks home
Mm.
next to a park,
Mm.
but from where the old folks home lot approached the park was a pretty steep hill.
Mm.
Okay? So old folks couldn't get to the park directly. They would have to go out to the street, go all the way around to where the ground levels out again, and then go into the park. For old people, this could take like 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
Quite a hike for them.
Yeah.
So they had been petitioning the city to come build stairs from their lot on the park. Okay, it would only be like 3 or 4 steps. City keeps saying we don't have the money in the budget, blah blah blah. It's not, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Some neighbor living in the same neighborhood, right,
He built them
happened to
for
be
him.
a contractor. He had some like concrete lying around, right? Like contractor, he's always got a couple of supplies that he over buys a couple $100. I think it was like $400 worth of wood. Augers post holes, puts in some posts, builds some stairs, and installs the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, old folks using the stairs. They're all the code. They're great stairs.
Mm.
The city finds out, sends a crew of 6 men to dismantle the stairs at the cost of like 40 odd thousand dollars.
Right.
But building them wasn't in the budget.
Right.
That's government at its
Yeah.
best. That's
Oh,
its
yeah.
finest. That's the best it can do for
And
you.
that's just them flexing their muscle. You didn't get the permit. You didn't follow the process, so we're going to take it away. And while we might not have money to build the stairs, we sure as hell got money to fucking rub your nose in it. Yeah. No, government is an ass. Raging
Blair,
dissident. LOL. Blair White
Blair
wouldn't
wouldn't
mind.
mind. Don't
No.
worry.
No. Delta Mail's here. Hey, Delta.
Still here or back?
Was he here earlier? Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
was here. Yeah, he was here earlier. Sorry.
But yeah, we've gone over 2 hours with 0 topics. That's pretty good.
That's not bad. It's because I like the sound of my own voice, and I'll just keep talking if you let me.
We all like the sound of your voice.
Oh, that's sweet to say.
That's why we're here.
That's why I worked at a call center for years. I remember working at the call center, at a call center, same company that I work for now, but I'm no longer in the call center portion. And a woman called in one time when I was working in the residential side of things, and she was upset about something. She was really upset about something that, we'd fucked up on something, right? And so I listened to her complaint. I reiterated her complaint, and I said, "Well, I'm really sorry that you experienced that. Let me resolve the issue for you. Let me explain you why it happened the way it did. Here's how we're gonna get it resolved." And she just stopped me in the middle and says, "You have a really pleasant phone manner. You're really good at this." I'm like, "Oh, thanks very much." Felt so good to have a customer say, and she's like, "I work in a call center. I actually run a call center, and when I hear, really good customer service, I really take notice of it. So I really appreciate you doing it this way today." I'm like, "Oh, thanks very much." She says, "You just have a calming phone manner." I'm like, "Cool." Sometimes I talk too fast, though.
And my androgen gets body. Body is all hell.
You're breaking up on me, Irving. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh no. Can you hear me now?
I can. It's still breaking up a little bit. Do you do you
I
still have that game running in the background?
no, I turned it off.
Okay, it's a little bit better now. And now there's nothing. Oh, I lost him again. Well, thank you for coming to the Casual AF live stream. We lost Irving Twin, but that's okay. I'll keep things going until he comes back. But here he is. There's the man. Or is he?
The hell?
There you are. We can see you.
Okay,
Yeah, we can see you. We can hear you, and there's no delay.
good. Because I was suggesting that we end the stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, before my internet just craps out entirely. So, final thoughts there, Craig?
I was just gonna tell a joke, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
I know we don't have the no one tells jokes anymore on this stream, but I want to tell a joke anyway. I heard this earlier this week. So guy walks into a bar and he sees the on the bar there's this big jar and it's full of $100 bills. So he asks the bartender, he's like, "Hey, what's with this $100 bill?" And he's like, "Oh, that's our challenge jar. Basically, we have a challenge. We've been doing it for like years, and nobody's done it yet." It's like, "Well, what's the challenge?" He's like, "Okay, you see that big son of a bitch over there?" And he points to a guy in the corner, massive dude, 6'9", and he weighs like 300 pounds of all muscle, right? He says, "That's Big Jim. You gotta go over to Big Jim and you gotta knock him out. That's the first part of the challenge." Out there in the parking lot, Big Jim's dog, that massive Rottweiler you saw when you came in, you gotta go and get one of Big Jim's dog's teeth. And then, upstairs, Big Jim's mom, a 6-year-old obese woman. You have to go upstairs and have sex with Big Jim's mom. If you can do all three of those things, you get this jar of $100, but you got to put $100 in, of course, right? And he's like, "Oh wow, man, it's quite the challenge." He looks at the guy and he's like, "I don't know." Looks in his wallet, I don't know. He's like, "Give me a shot of tequila." He shoots it back, get a bit of liquid courage in him. Thinks about it a little bit more. Looks back at the jar. Looks big guy. Looks out the window at the dog. It's like, "All right, give me another shot of tequila." So he takes another shot of tequila. He's like, "One more," and he takes it. So he's had 3 shots of tequila. He's like, "All right, I'll do it." He takes $100 out of his bill, out of his wallet. He throws it in the jar, and he walks over to Big Jim. Staggers over to Big Jim, and gets him to stand up. And then he, with all his might, hoofs Big Jim right in the nuts, and Big Jim just crumples to the floor and passes out from the pain. It's like, all right. So he goes out into the parking lot, and everybody in the bar can hear there's a kerfuffle going on with the dog outside, Big Jim's dog. They hear barking and growling and whining and moaning, and then finally silence. And then he comes back in and he goes, "All right. Now where's this broad that I gotta knock her tooth out?"
Uh,
Ba-dum-bum.
and that's why nobody tells jokes
Anymore. That was a good joke. What are you talking about? Because the thing is, he thought he had to fuck the dog, so he fucked the dog. Right?
You're not helping this weird Canadian stereotype that cropped up.
I still can't sleep. You're talking about nothing. Has it made me fall asleep?
Sorry,
Well
Coach.
played. Sorry, Coach. Sorry. It's just a show about nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got nothing going on really in the next week or so. Are we ready to do another live stream next Saturday, I guess?
Yes.
We'll do it over on the Ammunition channel.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, I'll be. There's a link to Craig's channel if you aren't already subscribed in the description down there. So go ahead and do that if you haven't. And yeah, then we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Same time on my channel. You
Good
all
night, everyone.
take care. Good night. It's great seeing you all again. Thanks for coming out.
Hail Sigmar.